Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's finally time for another Game of the Week. My name is MiAhTheKing, and remember, the easiest time to add insult to injury is when you're signing someone's cast. Now, I'm sure you all out there are a bit excited for this week's Game of the Week, although if last week's views are anything to go by, then not a lot of people will see this. Regardless, today we're taking a look at another old game that was originally released in 1999, even older than the other games that we've looked at. It's Dungeon Keeper 2. This segment of my channel is still very new, and last week's didn't get a lot of views, so this may be my last time doing this one. But if you like this segment and want to see more old legendary games presented, then please share this video and give me some support. Thank you. Now, for those of you who are not aware, because this game is older than most people out there, this is a legend of a game. It definitely deserves to be showcased here on my Game of the Week segment. It's a strategy game where you play as a dungeon lord, represented by a dungeon heart. This game can be purchased and downloaded from GOG for $6 and will give you at least 6 hours of gameplay. Behold, I think. It has been a long time, but I'm pretty sure it's a decent length game with tons of replayability. It even has multiplayer where you and a buddy can challenge each other's dungeon designs. The story is that the Kingdom of Harmonia, ruled by King Reginald, has been under siege from dungeon keepers for a while, and his wizards have devised a device known as a portal gem to confine evil creatures to the underworld, while still allowing good forces access. Reginald has a portal gem for each region, and each region is safeguarded by its guardian. These gems have forced even serious dungeon keepers into retreat. An evil warrior known as the Horned Reaper, or Horny, believes he has the ability to remove portal gems from Harmonia, and has enlisted your assistance in conquering its realms so he can claim the portal gems. So the war for the world begins in full, the dungeon keepers against the Holy Kingdom of Harmonia. I mean, I keep saying Holy Kingdom, but I don't actually think it's a Holy Kingdom. They just act like it all the time. Anyway, so that's pretty much the story. It's okay, I guess. It's nothing extraordinary, but remember, this game came out like 24 years ago, so technically its idea was original at the time. So also keep that in mind. Now, you might be wondering why I'm showcasing such a crappy-looking game. Well, let's be honest, it's not crappy-looking, okay? It's just old. And sure, there have been tons of games that have come out that are similar to this, or even considered better than this, and yet somehow nothing quite compares to the original. This game has its charm, it has courage, it has ingenuity and originality, a game so good that its fans have been dying for a sequel for 20 damn years. The closest we got was an awful mobile app that was more money grubber than game. And then another game that came out, which is probably the closest thing we're going to get, and it's actually not bad, called War for the Overworld, a colloquial sequel if you would. It's a really good game, and I'd recommend that one as well, but as I said, nothing quite compares with the original. So, let's get into this bad boy, shall we? Now, you get these imps, like, at the very beginning. Now, these are your basic minions. They excavate new rooms and tunnels for you. You see, you are an underworld kind of dungeon keeper thing, right? Like, everything is underground, so mining is the big thing here. I just wanted to make that clear. Anyway, so these imps go around mining for you at your discretion to create new rooms and gather gold. You can build a treasury to store your hoards of gold. You can build a chicken room where it spawns chickens that your numerous minions will munch on. You can build a barracks for your minions to sleep in, and many more rooms that you can unlock as you go throughout the storyline. Each new room provides you with new functions and unlocks new minions that spawn through something called a spawning gate. Like you could build a library, and in this library you can unlock new spells and upgrade them, and the library itself summons warlocks from the gate. You can't directly control your minions. They kind of do their own thing. You're the overlord after all, and you don't have time to order around every single minion. You got bigger problems to worry about, like managing your massive piles of gold, or planning how to crush your enemies, etc. But as I mentioned earlier, you get some fun spells by research, one of which includes possessing your minions. Now you can travel around and see your dungeon from a first-person perspective, and you can also go around collecting other minions of yours into an army and lead them into battle yourself, which honestly is the only real way to command your minions to fight in great droves, but we'll get into that later. Actually, screw it, let's get into that now. So as you cannot control your minions directly, they just wander about aimlessly doing random things like training in the training room, eating your chickens, sleeping, or patrolling your dungeon. Now, you can pick them up and drop them near enemies, and then they'll attack, but trying to get your minions to attack your enemy in the dungeon is actually really frustrating, hence the possessing someone and leading them into battle yourself. It is a bit of a downside, I'm gonna be honest, but still, the comedy and charm of this game and the innovative nature of it from back in the day is great. For instance, you can eventually build a torture chamber. Now this gives you the Dark Mistress minions, but the torture chamber helps you out in two big ways. If you torture an enemy soldier to death, they'll give you some valuable information, like revealing a part of the map. And if you keep them alive while they're being tortured, then eventually they will actually join your side and bolster your numbers. Kind of a dark topic, I know, but I mean, you're an evil overlord, so what do you expect? But want to know where the comedy of this game comes in? Well, here's just a small piece of the weird, quirky comedy. You can slap your minions as much as you want, and each minion has a different reaction to your slap. Plus, the main guy, the big devil-looking guy who's basically telling you where you need to go, what you need to do for those gyms, his name is literally Horny. That's the kind of comedy you're looking at in this kind of game. Okay, it's not that funny, but it does have stuff like that all over the place in these quirky little ways that'll just make you smile and roll your eyes. But I suppose the real fun of this game just comes down to the quirky charm of it. The building and customizing your dungeon and enjoying all the different minion types. I mean, there's even dragons. But you're managing them and you're trying to thwart the good guys' plans. You know, being an evil overlord, ruling over your diverse, cool minions, and experiencing the interesting story elements, and all of this just really makes the game a heck of a lot of fun to play. And honestly, there's really not a game out there that's like this. So even, I mean, except for the one that's a colloquial sequel. So even after 20 years, this game is still pretty good and pretty fun to play through. I mean, after all these years, it's still really addictive and it's still really fun. I would highly recommend that everybody out there who sees this video to go out, buy this game, and play it. I mean, it's worth its asking price, definitely. And it's also definitely worth your time. I mean, this is a legendary game that deserves to be remade and deserves more attention. Now, I could keep going on and telling you more and more and go into much greater detail because I grew up playing this game, but in a way, I think it might just be better if you all go out there and just buy it and play it yourself. I mean, I think one of the things that I like the most about this game is the voice actor of the narrator. Like, that dude's he's got some talent. He's got the deep, booming, charismatic voice that just, it's like, if he was the voice of the Overlord, I wouldn't even be surprised. And when I was mentioning replayability earlier, there are actually different paths you can take to your conquest of the Kingdom of Harmonia. Like, you can choose, there's this one diverse path in the beginning that allows you to take the frontal assault, and it has its own level, and then there's the, you know, non-frontal assault. I don't remember because I clicked on the frontal assault without paying attention to the other one because I was just too excited. So it's obviously some kind of more sneaky way of doing it. But the point is that it's got the replayability because it has the different choices you can make. There's also different approaches to creating and customizing your dungeon on every level. And sometimes you're going to be like, I could have done that better. Or I could be cooler about this, you know, because it's very immersive. You are the Overlord, so be one. Have a cool big dungeon that's got traps and stuff in it. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy it. Have fun with it. Lose yourself in it. So seriously, go buy it and enjoy it yourselves. I cannot recommend it enough. So that's all that I got for this week's Game of the Week segment, everybody. And it may be my last one, depending on how the views go for this one. I really hope it's not, though, because I enjoy doing this. So, again, if you like this Friday segment, then please share the video. Show it some support. And, you know, if I get enough views, I'll put out another one next Friday. But, you know, if not, and you like, maybe check out the rest of the stuff that I do on my channel. You know, see if you like that stuff. And if you do, then please subscribe anyway. But that's all I got. So thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. And until then, I bid you all farewell.